We get on Patreon?
I don't know. Why not? All the kids doing it.
Okay. Maybe we'll have to figure that out. But let's go into it right now with the beats in the background by my guy Il Sugi.
Secret House.
Secret House. And today, we are human beings. We're in Tokyo. We review mostly hip-hop type records, all subgenres and aspects of hip-hop except for the real mainstream stuff, because you can find Anthony Fantano and other people doing those. And plus, I just have no interest in listening to a lot of albums that are super popular. Today we are going to talk about Tierra Whacks' new 3 EP release. We've got pop, rap, and
R&B.
Yeah, I'm Mega.
Oh, DJ L Spade, a.k.a. Dude on the Left.
Did we come into this weird?
The guy with the afro.
Yeah. The ethnically ambiguous guy in the middle. Yeah, we did come into this a little bit strange, but yo, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, comment, and is there other things that they should do?
Subscribe.
Share.
Yeah.
Share.
Yeah.
it.
Oh, share.
Share it. What
Yeah. Thank
or
you.
don't. It's a free country. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Yeah. We're doing all right with that. I think the freedom.
Yeah.
But yeah, this new album by Tierra Whack, I was a fan. I can say that I was a huge fan of her first release, which was Whack World, and that came out in I think 2018 maybe.
Yep.
2018, 15 songs, a minute each, accompanied with a video. I guess the video is inseparable from it. In fact, it was supposed to be released as that.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, the first thing I thought was like, wow, this is like an artist. This is a person who is extremely talented with a lot of different styles and approaches to music. And the creativity in the music videos really sold me on everything. Since then, I heard that she went on tour with Fly Low.
Yep,
I
she's on the album too.
heard a song with her and Fly Low, and then there's like nothing. Do you guys, were you familiar with Tierra Whack before?
I was, yes.
Okay, but for the other name,
Yes.
Dizzle Diz,
Drizzy Driz.
Drizzy,
Yeah,
Drizzy. I
Dizzy
forget.
Diz. I'm sorry. Dizzy Diz.
I don't know her. I knew she had like a previous type of music persona and career, but I've never heard any of that.
Yeah, same.
You too?
Shout out to the name switch, man. Reinvent yourself.
Well,
I mean,
her
that's a real name.
Yeah,
That's a real name.
That's what's dope. It's like Jet Axel over here. Like Jet has just a really dope regular name. It sounds like a superhero name. I guess it is a superhero name.
Kind of, sort of.
But you know what I mean? Like our names, we gotta fucking freak it somehow,
right?
because you know what I mean?
Marcus.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, Tierra Whack is a great name for a person that kind of projected that persona on the first release. It just worked well. But these 3 EPs released pretty shortly after each other.
A week apart.
A week apart.
Smart. So smart.
Each of them are 3 songs each, about between 8 and 10 minutes, I think. There's a few music videos.
We're going to look like idiots if she releases another one.
Yeah, jazz.
Jazz?
she's just like doing jazz.
Metal.
Or ska.
Oh, ska would be so dope.
I mean, I don't know if I want to see her freaks. I don't know if I want to see anybody freak ska
It's a challenge.
in album forever again. I can handle it in person, in doses, but you know.
Ambient noise?
Psychedelic folk music.
Chill hop.
Right. What other
Dubstep?
genres? Amish electronica.
That'd be dope.
Post-industrial jazz core?
Yeah. I mean, we'll bring it back. We'll go like aqua crunk, blap. Yeah, all of the other things
New
that she
Orleans
could do.
bounce.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things. Should we talk about an overview of all the albums, or go one by one and talk about them?
Okay,
each?
I can talk about everything because initially listening to these albums, first, genius the way you put out 3 EPs and you keep on putting out, because they're technically singles if they're 3 songs, but you're putting them out day by day to freak the algorithm. So shout out to that. In this streaming society, I get what you're doing. That's genius. Yo, shout out
supply.
to that.
It's a scheme.
Yes.
I do think also though that they are 3 very different pieces
They
that
are.
are connected you know.
But they could all been in one album.
They could have
It worked.
if she'd been like part 1, part 2, part
Yeah,
3.
you
But I think
could've.
you know it is
Sure.
very by intention. I
think so.
assume that this is meant to be a statement on the way that she has been kind of categorized and the way that a lot of black and especially black women artists are categorized. Like, oh, she's a rapper,
I totally
she's
agree
a
with that.
singer,
Yeah.
she's you know R&B artist, and you know Tierra Whack is all of those things and more. So
So let me break it down in
and a
sections
poet
to
at
you.
that.
Yeah,
Right, right.
once again, it could have worked together as a whole album too, but I
Sure.
love how she broke it down in sections, and I totally agree with everything you just said over there.
It kind of also feels like a lot of the tracks are reminiscent or they rely on certain musical tropes within
yes.
those genres, and her putting her own specific type of touch and taste on it. And it's both, like, for me, it's both something that made some of the songs more enjoyable, just the variety, but it also kind of took something away from me because a lot of them do feel very derivative to
Right.
me of other sounds, which I didn't get that on
From
Whack
Whack
World.
World.
And it was like the first EP that came out, it was jarring to me because I was like, yo, this whack shit. I guess I could have said that. This whack shit is not so
Whack.
great for me right now because it sounds like, I thought she was like on some real artsy, weird things. And then the rap album for me of the 3 is perhaps my least favorite of them.
Really, I actually like
Yeah.
the rap album because the first song comes on, it reminds me of a Neptunes type beat. I'm like, yo, for real, it's in the building. Yeah, it had a nice stripped down sound.
Each of those tracks are kind of distinct as well in terms of
Yes.
like the type of rap
Rap
it
it
is,
is,
right?
yes.
The first one's a more contemporary trap kind of, and she's not
Not
really
trap,
rapping.
really. I wouldn't call it like that trap. though.
I don't know another term to call like modern pop
It's a
rap.
Neptunes type beat, man. It's a
It
stripped
kind of
down,
is. It
like
is.
something you hear Nelly rapping on.
Right.
Honestly, like,
I mean, the whole collection is quite stripped down production wise. It's she's quite minimalist with the production approach, and then she uses like a lot of staccato flows.
Yeah.
where she'll spit like a
Shout out
5-syllable
Jay Melodic.
line
Yeah.
and then just leave it, and it gives the beats a lot of space to breathe to like varying effect. I think in some cases it works really really well. Some cases like the beats maybe aren't strong enough to uphold
Sure.
her character and her charisma.
You don't think so?
On like so for example, like I didn't particularly like Dolly off of
Sure.
That's
Pop.
the R&B.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the R&B.
That's on Pop.
Yeah, that's
It's on pop?
that's pop.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is pop. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's the one after the guitar.
Oh,
yeah,
the
the
guitar
Kurt
track,
Cobain,
yeah.
like
yeah,
Nirvana type sample. Okay. Lazy.
Lazy.
Yeah, after Lazy.
Which-
Okay.
That track made me laugh a lot. That's a funny track. Tierra Whack
I do
is
like that.
Very funny.
That's the one I really like. It's charming. It's charismatic. Back to kind of my issues with the rap EP
Sure.
that kind of stood out to me before when I saw the video for what is the first one called?
Stand Up.
Stand Up. At first, I was just like, wow, this is like the lyrics are very just surface level, typical rap shit that I just don't really care about. For the most part, a lot of, will the real please stand up? It's like, all right, I've heard this 1,000 times from virtually everybody that was a real nigga. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
and it's just like, I didn't care for that. But the second song, she's talking about kind of a failed relationship.
relationship,
And I was like,
cheating.
oh, this is great writing. This is great storytelling. The beat is solid. This is like some J. Cole type of, you know what I mean? It's like, even though I don't really get hype about songs about breakups and love, okay, solid. The last track, I was talking to Spade before, it reminds me of like a Knots beat, kind of like a soulful, gospel, like some real hype shit that Knots would make.
Yep.
And I thought that one was pretty good, but all of them were so similar to other things that I had heard before. I didn't see Tara's identity and charisma seeping out of that
I
one
actually
as
did
much.
though. I'm disagreeing. I actually did. I think that this could have been like borderline parody if it wasn't done like it was done. But it's a thin line between homage and parody. This really got homage down pat for me. So I actually like the way you do it.
You mean
She
like
did it.
like a little bit? That's what I kind of thought too. Is like, if it was going to be a satirical take on these type of sounds, then I was expecting like a little bit more tongue in cheek from it, and I thought she was being serious.
And I think she is being serious, especially on that second track. I think this is some of the more kind of introspective and personal we've seen her across all 3 projects on
True.
R&B
It's
as
called
well. when
Megan
she talks
Good.
about
She was that chick
Megan
back in the day.
Megan Good.
Shout out to Megan.
Still
Good.
looks great.
Yo, Megan, if
But-
you're watching this video,
Yeah.
like, comment, and subscribe.
Holla at your boy.
Click the bell.
Yeah. For notifications.
Yeah. So on the note of like pastiche, or paying tribute, what did you think of Body of Water? Because that was definitely my standout. You know, I mean, it's Bombs Over Baghdad, obviously,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
like, I like that track a lot. And I think the video is also excellent and like
Have
kind
not
of
seen the
mandatory
video yet.
watching to go with the track.
The video actually made me enjoy the track more than the first few times I heard the song. When I heard it, I was like, okay, this really is like some Bob. You know, it reminiscent immediately.
I was
was like,
when I heard the intro, I'm like, oh, so
I mean,
South.
it's dope. She's killing it. She does everything right on all of these tracks, I think. But I was looking for that personality and that art that I got from Whack World, and that's my own, you know, definitely not anything against her approach. But when I saw the video, I was like, oh, this is the Tierra that I kind of love. This is the Tierra that was intriguing to me, because the video seems to be a commentary on like you know,
What's in the water?
What's in the water,
Yeah.
right? Like you. And like they turn into dolphins, and I was like, oh, this is super ill. It's a great video, and it adds to the song another layer to it at least, and I do like it because of that. And that was the first song on these 3 albums that kind of made me say, okay, I'm still rocking with Tierra Whacks.
Okay, so you didn't like the first 2, because I'm not gonna lie, the R&B album I was kind of almost off. It almost threw me off when I heard the R&B album. I was like, ugh.
I think she does good
are we
with the
doing?
R&B stuff, actually.
I don't.
Yeah.
And the reason why is I don't know if this is a rapper trying to do like R&B stuff, or is it somebody actually trying to give you an R&B feel?
Thus the 3
Right.
albums and
'Cause
this, you know, question
Her
of like pop.
virtuosity towards being able
rap,
to achieve
R&B.
all that,
I just feel like we've devalued singing so damn much in
Well,
our
oh, yeah,
generation
yeah.
now.
That is,
And people
yeah.
people hate me because I use it like that person can't sing. And that's once again.
I mean,
because-
people also hate you because you say Michael Jackson is like.
No, Michael Jackson cannot sing, man. Michael
Yeah.
Jackson's not a good singer,
Right,
bro. He's a
right,
great
right.
entertainer,
Yeah.
but he's not a good singer.
My bad. I don't mean to deter.
know,
I just
but-
know you on,
yeah.
you know what I mean, in real life.
Yeah.
but right.
We've devalued singing so much
You're
to
right.
the point when I hear somebody trying to sing with this auto tune, which is really like made it so bad. It's too clean. It's too homogenized, and I hear it like even putting somebody directly on the grid and having notes on. It's jarring to my ears. Like
I mean, that is something I didn't like about this record. Like, I found it really noticeable on Lazy.
it's almost future-like, man. Like on a couple of these songs, I'm like, yo, only thing I'm missing is Hendrix.
Well, I mean, I'll talk about like the tropes of, you know, that kind of. She has like some of the sort of more mumbled delivery on there, and then the kind of like accent, the way she like enunciates certain words.
That's not really R&B to me.
But I was going to talk about how on Lazy off of Pop, which is one of my favorite tracks on the collection, every now and then you hear the pitch correction kick in.
Right.
And she's not singing it like in auto-tune, but she is using pitch correction, and every now and then like you'll hear a flat note suddenly just snap into place. And I was kind of like, oh, why didn't they just do a different take? And I think maybe that was done intentionally just because, you know, you've got that kind of repetitive guitar, and it's like somebody just thrashing away at a guitar in a bedroom somewhere. So maybe...
Not to get too in the weeds in this, like back in the day we used to mix before auto-tune. I'm that old. I remember mixing before auto-tune. Before auto-tune, you know, you used to do a little slight pitch correct on somebody's songs. Because, you know, you be in the studio, you be doing different takes, and your voice actually gets taxed. So you can't get everything perfect. So they'd make a whole separate track of the 2 takes and like snap one
you
part
mix them
that's
together.
off,
Right.
and like maybe pitch the off one up like about 3 cents or
But
15
I thought
cents.
that was like an intentional thing to kind
Right.
of like as a commentary on it being pop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, snap it right there is like it's. I maybe I'm projecting into the entire project, but I kind of felt as though like there's a little bit of like of a meta narrative behind this, like you were saying earlier, Jed, and like some of the things that are tropey are like intentionally
Right.
tropey.
Yeah.
Homage.
You know, like exactly.
A pastiche,
And so
yeah.
like when I hear that weirdness, I'm just like, oh, I mean, of course.
Right.
It's like you know, it's like we know the trick already. The magician doesn't need to hide it.
Exactly.
Sure.
You know, so
Yeah,
just
I agree.
like here's the trick. Fucking
Well, yeah.
you know.
So personally, I guess I couldn't tell, especially in that case, whether or not that was just like, oh, it's good enough, leave it in.
Same thing with me
or
with
if it
R&B,
is like, oh, okay, she's trying to make a comment here on, you know, Tierra Whacks, the pop artist.
Sure.
And I'm not sure which one it's meant to be, but also I'm dumb as fuck, so.
You said the same thing I just said for the R&B album. Like seriously, you said the same thing I said about the R&B album for the pop album. So I got you. Yeah.
I mean, I feel the same way about the rap album. I guess we're all on different pages, you know, in regards to this. So,
which I guess is a mark of a great artist, to be fair.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I always, when I talk to people about, you know, what's your favorite Portishead album, people always give me a different answer. You know, they have 3 albums, and it's like a 33 split between what everybody's favorite Portishead album is, and that's just because all 3 of them are so good that you end up coming out with just a very varying opinion. There's no like dip in the quality of the discography.
Right.
And, you know, I think that does kind of apply here, that all 3 of us seem to have different favorites and least favorites of these 3 in the collection. And obviously we have differing tastes, and that's like an important element of this secret house thing we're doing. But at the same time, Tierra Whack is such a flexible and, you know, creative artist that I think a lot of people take away very different things from what she does, and she is able to skirt the line of being like a charismatic, extremely likable like star, while also being a complete weirdo that like art and music nerds can really appreciate.
Well, let me ask you this then, just both of you guys.
Sure.
What's the best song on the rap album?
Let me bring up the
Same
track
thing for you,
names.
Megan. What's the best song on the rap album?
Is Megan good for me?
Okay, and how about you?
Man, it's a toss up. I don't know who produced. I really like the J Melodic beat on Millions, but when it comes to the content of the lyrics, I don't really give a shit about like, we getting millions, and I don't really give a shit about Stand Up. So I would have to say Megan Good as well.
So I
think it's like good writing on there.
We all
I
agree.
think it's just good writing.
And it's important, I think, because we've talked a lot about how like likable and funny Tierra Whack is, but at the same time, you know, she can be introspective and she can talk about things that really matter to her. And I think she's playing Megan Good like completely straight. Right. You know, I think she's being very earnest on that track, and it's nice to see introspection. That might be
the realest moment on the of the 3, like the most personal moment, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, Heaven is probably
Cutting
up
Onions,
there too.
Heaven as well.
Yeah,
but Cutting Onions was probably my least favorite.
Didn't like that
track across all 3 projects, but I think
pop album. What was the best song on the pop album?
It's got to be that first one. It's got to be Body of Water for me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
What you think?
Man, I kind of like Lazy.
See, I'm a lazy guy.
Okay.
Me too.
I just like the way she's chopping on
Yeah.
that a little bit. But Body of Water got better for me with the video. The video is.
I haven't seen it yet.
If you let me listen to Lazy and you let me watch Body of Water, I'm gonna choose Body of Water just because the video is fucking wonderful.
Well,
and given that Whack World was a visual album and she has a history now of kind of abnormal release formats, she's yet to release a full-length album. We had this 15-track, 15-minute long album with visuals for everything. And very well-considered visuals, very well-put-together visuals.
You gotta watch that. Anybody who's watching this that hasn't seen that, watch that.
Go watch Whack World, absolutely.
If the first minute doesn't pull you into her being fucking magnificent, then I don't really know what to tell you.
Endorsement.
I can't sell you on her any further.
Well, this pop album was undoubtedly the best project that I listened to out of everything. This is the best done.
It was my favorite of the 3 as well.
Dolly. Like the Dolly song was actually pretty dope to me. You know, they had the I think that's the Dead South sample. In Hell I Be in Good Company. I don't know.
Okay.
But like it reminded me of that with the banjo.
With the acoustic guitars and the banjos,
like, so I was on. But what is the best song on the R&B album?
I didn't really, to be honest with you, I didn't really get to pay much attention.
It came out yesterday. Just for anybody watching at home, like R&B just dropped. I think we've all listened to it once or twice.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it feels like our opinions on that are a little less developed compared to the other records. Because I personally, I've listened to it twice.
I've listened. Both times I listened to it, I kind of tuned out Sorry, and then I watched the video for Heaven 2 or 3 times because I was like, I'm just gonna let it repeat. But yeah, I mean, I like Heaven. I like the video for Heaven.
I don't like none of the R&B album, but if you put a gun to my head, I'll first listen. What's the best song? I'll probably say Heaven. But once again, the line between R&B and rap has been so damn blurred that like when I listen to this, I don't hear anything R&B about it.
I don't know where people go to get R&B in the same kind of like approach that we heard cleaning up on Sundays at our parents' house and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know where you go to find like
does that exist anymore?
Luther or you know an Anita or any of these. I mean, the line between R&B and actual like popular rap music has been so blurry since fucking Ja Rule.
Thank you,
So
Auto-Tune.
yeah,
Everybody
it's-
can do it now.
Yeah, it went really pop, and I the only time I hear like singers is like when I'm looking at like an Esperanza Spalding album, or, you know what I mean, like some jazz shit. But I also don't pay close attention to that genre in the first place.
Right.
So
Recommend some R&B in the comments.
Yeah. I mean,
Give us some good R&B. We'll talk about it.
Got it. Yeah, I could be hella down for that actually. A lot of the shit that I listen to now that's like vocalist, artist, musician, it'd be like a lot of weird white girls doing like Salami Rose Joe Lewis and weird shit like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, but hit me to the real dope. Hit me to the real dope. I know I'm forgetting a lot of names right now when it comes to R&B, but yeah, that's the nature of it. My fucking memory is shot. But overall, what do you guys think about this? Like, I don't love these projects. Like, if I take it like it's really like a miss on 2 out of 3 of them for me. I don't dislike them, but I just don't find myself I don't think I'll come back to the album as much as I'll be like, oh, I want to watch that music video again.
I actually like the first 2. This R&B one, not really feeling it at all for the reasons I gave previously. But I would go back to the first. Matter of fact, just ranking these albums. I know y'all don't like ranking, but that's how I do it. I need numeric value.
All right, so pop,
I would actually give it a 7.5.
Rap,
I would give it a 6.5.
R&B.
Man, 4.
5. Oh.
The fake Future. The lyrics are not there. I really don't hear them talking about anything. It's just a bunch of mumbling, auto-tune, homogenized over just generic beats. Not saying the beats are bad, but the beats are just like, this is what you would think that somebody would do.
I really kind of thought what she's talking about on Heaven is like interesting.
Heaven's the best one, yeah.
Like that's an interesting approach
and
to it. I don't know if I've heard that.
I didn't like Cutting Onions, but she's being real on there. Like she's obviously talking about how much a loss has really gotten to her. I just didn't really like her delivery. She's talking about crying, like she's got like a Cockney accent. But I think it all comes from a place of like honesty and genuine artistry, like all 3 of them. I like them all well enough. I'll probably go back to them.
Yes.
I go back to Whack World every now and then. I go back to Yellow Belly off that Flying Lotus album just because she's a ton of fun on that track. And like Flying Lotus's sense of humor doesn't land for me 90% of the time. I didn't enjoy like his Kuso movie and all that stuff, even though I'm a big Flylo fan.
I wanted to enjoy Kuso so bad.
But
it starts with my guy Bus Driver.
But Tierra Whacks, she like brings so much like fun and joy to that
charisma.
record. Charisma.
That's kind of what I feel is missing in this album for me, that I kind of like look for whatever reason when I'm listening to her. Like there's a bit of charisma that I feel's not present in this album and this listenings for me, and it just doesn't draw me in. Like,
wait 3 days, the new album come out.
Obviously, of all 3 of the genres that she's kind of representing here, I'm a rap guy, but like I start questioning, am I a rap guy? Because I don't really care about standing up. I don't care about millions. And when it comes to the Megan Good and being like, I'm like, this remind me of like some J. Cole's, like some Coda the Idiot type of like. Wow. I just don't really like rock with music that's made like that. Like I don't want to listen to that, and it was disappointing for me.
But once again, I do think this pastiche of a rapper,
that's the
representing
word. Pastiche.
Representing pop. I think it's still done in her style, but just channeling some of the more common tones of pop in all these genres. But it's still her doing it her way, so I respect that.
Maison Secrète.
I might be wrong for expecting charisma and comedy from her music. She has literally the one release that I've listened to is 15 minutes long.
Sure.
And so I might be completely off on that. I'm not going to knock her for it. What I will say is that she is an artist that I will pay attention to. I'm going to check out all of her projects until she proves to me that I shouldn't, because I find her interesting. I like her approach to art, what she's doing, and it seems thoughtful. And she's one of the artists, the women out there who I find like just really intriguing.
Oh, definitely for that. Yeah. When you're talking about like women out here making music, she's definitely up there. Like just actually talking about something ain't depending on like shaking her ass.
Yeah, I mean,
and all this other stuff.
Not that I mean, like it's a heavily male skewed market.
Yes.
It's
just
look at our history of reviews.
yeah.
I
mean,
think this might be
Jet-
the first woman artist we've reviewed.
It is. And Jet, you made an emphasis to say like we need to make sure we get one of the doper women on the podcast on the show, and like that was kind of it. Just so happened that Jet said that and she dropped. So yeah, I mean we're here for it. We're
Well,
here
in
for
our
it.
defense, man, there's not a whole lot of women out here putting projects.
Well,
out
I
too.
was gonna put forth the Lil Sims at record, but then that was when we took like a little hiatus,
Yeah.
like September, October.
Yeah.
So we just like
we missed that.
passed
one.
it by.
Yeah.
And we're not doing Nicki Minaj.
But we would. I mean, there's plenty of other dope
I
women
would
out there.
never.
But yeah,
She's
no,
not even
I think
Rock.
I think it is definitely worth like consciously
Rhapsody, yeah.
making an effort to like listen because these are male dominated genres
Indeed.
ultimately,
Yeah, indeed.
and what gets promoted, what gets put out is male dominated.
True.
And our ethos has always been to support independent and local art.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of dope women out there making
dope,
dope shit,
the
like
dope
Tierra Whacks.
unchampioned, and women are especially hugely underrepresented and underappreciated in this industry. So word up, man. Tierra Whack,
Secret
rap.
House, pop.
R&B.
yeah. Like, subscribe, submit your social security number and address so we can do credit card scams with your shit.
Yeah, Vin Comrade. Give me your
Right,
social.
right. Yeah.
Hey, see if we need to get that Patreon popping though.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
Give us your money.
Yeah, give us
Yeah.
money.
Yeah,
do it.
I guess I will have to come up with something to do, like additional content for the Patreon folks.
Q&As
you
or
know what I
something,
mean?
yeah.
BTS, man. BTS.
Buy that shit. Big time spenders.
Yeah, man. You know, we
That
come out
K-pop group.
Better tell somebody. Yeah, right.
I'll send you.
You know what I mean?
I'll send you a video message, dude on the
Yeah.
left,
Secret House K-pop
Yeah.
track
Yeah.
coming soon, only on our Patreon.
only on Patreon.
Secret House.
Fuck the all right.